Let's go on with the next article. A homeschooled boy was, a homeschooled boy was suspended 1 week last week for bringing a shotgun shell to class for show and tell. He was homeschooled, as I said, but he attends class once a week with the teachers as a way to kind of integrate them between, homeschool and then the social dynamics of a, regular school. So he brought the shotgun shell for a show and tell piece and was suspended due to the Des Moines school's policy of zero tolerance when it comes to weapons. So do you guys agree with the suspension? Should this little boy have been suspended? He's in first grade, remember?
Yes. No, absolutely not. He should not have been suspended. The no tolerance policy is getting just ridiculous. For a first grader bringing in a non-lethal shotgun shell that it can't be used without a shotgun. It's just, it just has gunpowder and lead in it.
I believe it was actually used too. I think it was just the shell casing. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, it was the casing.
Oh, just the casing?
It was just the casing. Oh. So a pin is more dangerous. Yes. Than what this kid brought in.
I'm just not. What are they worried about? Do they think he can throw it fast enough that it's going to hurt somebody? I mean, come on. I think that I agree with what you said, Ryan. These zero tolerance policies are getting out of control. So that leads me to the next question. Do you think that these zero tolerance policies are out of control and actually hindering the education place rather than helping them?
Go ahead.
I don't think they're hindering it. I wouldn't say that. I would say that it's certainly out of control. But I don't see how that hinders the educational facility. I mean, it's a shame for that one kid.
I would say it's hindering it because for that one kid, he's not getting that education that he missed when he got suspended for bringing in a shell casing.
Yeah, and he's going to be scared to go to school. I mean, some of these comments have said that he's probably going to be scared of the principal. And, that's terrifying for a first grader, not knowing what he did wrong. I mean,
especially for a homeschooler.
Yeah,
exactly. Doesn't know.
It's also bad for the parents of these kids because they have to worry about, can my son take this to school? It might be a weapon. I mean, technically, like Alex said, this ballpoint pen could be a weapon. Mm-hmm. And when is it going to stop? I just don't. I
don't understand why intention cannot be assessed, because there are also stories of kids getting suspended who were asked to bring something to class for that day, and it was their birthday, so they brought a birthday cake, but you had to bring a knife for the birthday cake, and so they got suspended for bringing the knife for their birthday cake. And
that's absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, there has to be a way that a principal can take this case by case. I mean, I don't know how you'd work it into the handbook. I mean, what he's doing is he's trying to follow the handbook, but you got to use a little common sense. I mean, yes, if he brings a gun to school, yes, suspend him. If he brings a shotgun casing that he may have used on some family vacation or whatever the case is, it's not going to hurt anybody. I don't know. Why would he bring a shotgun shell? I don't. It's
I take family vacations where I use shotgun shells. Don't give us that.
Okay. It's a souvenir. Obviously, he brought it for show and tell. Mm-hmm. I mean, there has to be some way for a case-by-case analysis of what is going on, whether it be intention or what it actually is. I mean, if you're going to bring a cake knife with a cake, I mean, come on. If you're going to bring a butter knife to cut, a really soft cake, is that going to be a murder weapon too? I mean, I don't get it.
As opposed to a saw for everyone's favorite hard cake.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, this is crazy. The last question, does the fact that this is a homeschooled boy that only attends school once a week make any difference in this situation?
I don't think that makes any difference. For a zero tolerance policy, it doesn't matter if you're part homeschooler or part not, or there all the time. It makes no difference. It's there for everyone.
Yeah, if you're in the building, you're under their jurisdiction.
Yeah, but see, this goes back to what I was just saying. That should be taken into consideration when he's deciding whether to suspend the kid or not. He doesn't know any different. I mean, he's at home 4 days a week, and one day he comes to class. He's not going to know all of these policies?
Well, that goes into the argument that ignorance is not a defense.
Yeah, I understand that, but I mean,
first graders who are there every day are not going to know the school's policies.
I guess that's true. But I wasn't
reading the manual.
I went all the way through high school.
I still read the manual.
But the point is, I think that it should be taken into consideration when you're the principal or whatever body is deciding what to do.
All right. Into our next issue. Former John Edwards aide Andrew Young said Friday that he had to turn over a copy of his ex's boss sex tape to the FBI. He was held in contempt of court for refusing to turn over the tapes. Hunter, the alleged partner in the tape, said that she tried to destroy the tape. Andrew Young said he found the tape in a rented out home by Hunter and was able to restore the tape. He has had it in his possession ever since, or so stated in his new book. All right. So what reason would you think that Andrew would have to keep this tape?
I don't want to get into that.
It's just, you'd assume the only reason would be future blackmail.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, politics as usual, but I don't know. It's just gross.
Hunter destroyed the tape, or tried to destroy the tape, and he went back and restored it. That just seems a little ridiculous to me.
It's a lot of work.
He must have known he could get a lot of money out of it.
He actually said he's had many offers for an extreme amount of money for the tape, but he has turned this down. He said this on Good Morning America.
Such a good man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think this has anything to do with his new book that he wrote?
Everything to do with his new book. He's obviously just trying to get it in the news, and every time they see his face or hear his name or hear the book or see the cover of the book, it's going to be more copies sold. So what he's doing is he's using it for blackmail, and he's using it to promote his book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What? Yeah.
Yeah. And do you think this guy's a slime ball? That's kind of a loaded question right there.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Just a little.
He's either a slime ball or a creep who really thinks John Edwards' $300 haircut is very attractive.
All right, good.
For our next story, we are going to talk about Senator Richard Shelby. Now, Senator Shelby is being attacked a little bit by the White House for really his attacks on them. He has placed a hold on every nomination that the White House has proposed, and he's a senator, so the Senate approves all these nominations. And the White House spokesman, Robert Gibbs, on Friday called Senator Shelby's tactic a poster child for what's broken in Washington, and said the senator is preventing qualified nominees from serving in important government positions. So, do you agree with his holds on some of these nominations?
Well, first we should say why he's putting holds on it. It's not just because he's angry.
Yeah.
Well, he is angry. It's not just because he's an old man or anything, but he's upset because of some earmark issues that he's had with his state. Like they've been, I'm not exactly sure what it is. The article was very brief.
It's something along the lines of government contracts to be built in his state.
Yeah, they're not getting the money that was earmarked to them or something like that. So there was a reason that he's doing this. He's not just doing this because he's just angry.
Well, he's not. Yeah, he's not being like a random roadblock.
Yeah. Having said that, I understand why he's doing it. I'm not sure I agree with it. I'm tired of the gridlock in Washington. So I'd like to see him stop. I mean, there's got to be better avenues to get this stuff done than just blocking everything the administration does. So
you do agree with the White House's criticism?
I would think so, but I don't know that it's a poster child. I would say it's a problem, but
I would also agree he should just let go of these nominations, let it go through, because he's holding up the democratic process.
I think that it's rather ridiculous to hold it up for specifically earmarks, because that's what we're trying to cut spending, and we're trying to do things like that. And if it's purely because he's not getting earmarks, I don't think that that's worth holding up the efficiency of the government.
But he's acting in the state in his own interest. He's acting not his own interest, but in his constituents' interest. That's their money that's been earmarked to them. So he's standing up for them. I mean, you got to give him that.
Yeah. No, that's
I just
argument.
I just don't agree with his avenue.
One thing to be said for him that in the article it said he has built his career on these earmarks for his state, that he always gets elected because of these earmarks. And if he built his career on this, what else should be expected for him besides holding up these nominations to get the earmarks for his state?
That's his job, though. His job is to act for his state. Each state wants their state to get the best. Like in the first healthcare bill that almost passed, Nebraska wouldn't have had to pay anything because of their senator was like the last roadblock, and he would not accept the bill unless they didn't have to pay for it. So I can't fault him for acting. I mean, it sounds really bad, but that's the way Washington works, is that he's trying to act just for the best of his state.
Mm-hmm.